I know, it makes me crazy.
Nicking other shit.
Mm-hmm. Hi, everyone.
Oh, we're doing this.
Oh,
Here
yeah. We're on. We are happening right now. I am Speedy Gonzalez on this whole, starting it up now. Hey, y'all. What's going on?
What up?
Guys, welcome to Between Two Nerds, your source for voter education, information, and a huge helping of awesome nerd chat with some of your favorite actors and show creators and all kinds of awesome things. I'm Courtenay Taylor.
I'm JP Karliak.
It's late. That's okay. And today... And today we have an amazing guest. You have seen her in Mr. Robot, and you have heard her as Sombra in Overwatch and Raze in Valorant. And we're gonna just pop on with Carolina Ravassa. She is happening right. Thanks for the hair and earrings comment. There she is. Oh, hi.
Hello.
Yeah. Let's switch this so you can see everybody and everything.
I can see you perfectly. Can you hear me well?
You are like a tinkling bell.
Tinkling. Love it.
Lovely. How are you, my friend?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, we're so excited to have you on here.
Yeah.
We're ready to one of these days I want you and Anjali to come on together.
Absolutely.
Because I'm in love with you guys being in love on Instagram.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous. I didn't know how you guys were gonna do this. I love the iPad thing going on.
Always quarantining.
This is great.
Low tech, high tech solution.
Yes. People are like, why doesn't he join in? I'm like, he can't. It's only 2 people that can join in at a time.
Yeah.
Instagram.
I love it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How are you? I saw you had a little birthday, a little quarantine birthday.
Yeah, that was, oh my gosh, we're coming on, I guess, 2 months ago already. Mm-hmm. Time flies. I'm well. I've been, luckily, I've been booking some voiceovers. So, you know, I've been able to go into some studios that are doing the COVID thing. And then I record in my closet right next to me. So it's been busy-ish. And I also keep busy trying to create my own stuff, you know. So I'm going to be shooting things with friends. I see a few people in quarantine. So, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So are you doing any of the kind of, what's the thing that Scott did where everyone gets together and acts and sings, but they're all on different places and you
like Zoom theater.
Yes, Zoom theater.
I'm not great at those things. I don't really sing, but I've done a lot of readings via Zoom, you know, helping writers make their scripts better. And so we lend our voices and whatever, you know, zany stuff we can come up with for the characters. But I haven't done any theater on the Zoom yet.
But it's your calling. I mean, you're classically trained, darling. It's just, they didn't teach you in the acting classes about Zoom theater.
They did not, no. But I think now, you know, theater schools are definitely going to start working in the Zoom thing. Yeah, I have focused on camera stuff. So I am shooting some little projects and reading scripts and trying to hopefully produce some, you know, I call them indie films because they will be. But I like having my hand in different pots, you know. You never know what's going to come up first.
That's amazing. If you guys I see tons of people like jumping on. So I just want to do a quick little shout out. If you're just tuning in, you're tuning in most likely for the beautiful Carolina Ravassa. But if you know who we are, this is Between Two Nerds. We're a little offshoot of NerdsVote.com. We are voter education and outreach for people in the nerdiverse, trying to get nerds out to vote. We have a special little pinned comment today. We always have a little action item that we ask people to do. Often it's making sure you're registered to vote. Today we're going a little different direction. If you would like to help people vote in America, you can sign up to be a poll worker at the link that we have pinned in the pinned comment just below. So take a look at that if you guys are interested in signing up. Lots of people have done it in the past, and they're looking for strapping young, healthy people who can take the place of people who might be at risk. So I don't know exactly what they're going to do, but they are assuring everyone that it's going to be very safe. So
that's amazing.
Absolutely. And with poll places closing around the country, there's going to be a limited amount of poll places, so they're going to need extra hands on deck to make sure that elections run smoothly. So being there really, really helps.
And also, you get people thanking you, and you get to hand out stickers and stuff. So that's the important stuff, the free things.
All the good stuff. How do you find out about all these things? You guys are like, obviously this is what you guys are advocating for. You're just constantly searching what's going on to make it all better.
Well, a big shout out to our social media guru, Ivy, who's in the chats. Ivy of the Spooky Kids. She is a former employee of headcount.org. She also currently works for VoteVote, which is also a voting organization. So she has her fingers in all the pies when it comes to voting information. But Courtney and I are, we are pretty active news readers, and so,
to my own detriment,
stating the post office, and there's been a lot of bullet points and news items that have come across us as like, okay, these are action items that we really need to push.
Yeah.
And the nice thing is actually people are now coming to us and sending us stuff so we can kind of check it out. So, people are asking questions about voting by mail and what will, potentially happen. So we're starting to push information out about the possibilities of the different ways you can vote, either in person, by mail. Certain states allow you to bring your absentee ballot or your vote by mail ballot you can surrender it at the voting place. If you decide that you would like to vote in person, you can skip the line and just drop it off in the box. Here in California, you can drop off your spouse's ballot if it is signed by your spouse.
Wow, cool.
So we're just trying to disseminate. We're also working with a group called Ballot Ready, which is an amazing group that is, they've got a website and an app that is ballotready.org. Yes, JP?
That's the one.
.org. And they are furiously uploading all of the races, all the ballot measures and all the contestants for all the races around the country. They have done an amazing job so far, but you can have it on your phone and like look up your zip code, where you live, and kind of get all on your phone what's happening in your area. And so we'll be also pushing out more information about them as well. And you can follow us on social media at NerdsVote and continue to get nerd love, nerd gossip, and voting stuff. So
yes, give them a follow. Boom.
Sorry?
No, I'm just telling everyone who's listening and watching to give NerdsVote a follow.
Yes, please. That would be great. Like and subscribe. So, so much to ask you. I'm glad that you're being so creative in quarantine. I have not. I mean, I've been working on NerdsVote, but the whole like making your own stuff, has that been something that you've done just in quarantine, or are you always somebody who kind of did that from like college on or when you were a kid?
Yeah, I can't sit still. It's a problem. So I think, since I was a kid, I was very arts and craftsy, thanks to my mom and my sisters. So I think that I've always just loved making stuff, making artsy, fun, trying to make beautiful things. So I think that since graduating college, for sure, I've understood, we got to play the audition game, which is a thing we do, and then also create your own stuff. And so usually it's smaller things. I did a web series that I have on my YouTube channel that during quarantine I went back to and did 8 episodes for. It's sketch comedy, bunch of wigs, makeup, accents, and I keep it very simple. Yeah, iPhone, edit on my computer, no frills. But it makes me happy, and I'm just putting out content that I think is fun. So I think that, it's such a crazy industry we're in, and until now I work constantly as a voice actress, but it wasn't always like this. And we have to cross fingers because we never know, So it's just one of those things that like you keep doing whatever you can to stay creative. It's, it's food for the soul.
And are you we talked a little bit about this in past episodes. I am burnt because I'm not getting out and I'm not getting my usual kind of sources of, it's all screen. Are you finding any inspiration or sort of creative juice in unexpected places, because I realized how much I've been reliant on just screens, and it's great to watch movies and TV and stuff, but some of the stuff like, you know, live music and things like that, like actually being places is where I get some of my inspiration. And it's been hard. I mean, are you doing stuff at home other than screening?
Yeah, you know, it's not been an easy quarantine. I think there are moments of inspiration where I was very busy and producing and creating. And then there's other moments where you kind of go into a deep, dark hole and have to kind of ride that wave as well. So it hasn't all been creative. In fact, there was a period of weeks where I was just reading a lot and not posting on social media too much. And I stopped doing the web series because I know Sweet Abby is a great follower who I love dearly, and she misses my crazy mofos from my web series. But sometimes I also get burned out from creating too much because you just kind of like, you do, and then you're like, ah! And so I think that I let myself just read and do nothing. And, you know, and I have been educating myself a lot on Black Lives Matter. And that hit me really hard to understand what the hell is going on in the world. You know, on top of a pandemic, we're dealing with this, and it's just crazy. So I read a ton of books and I keep reading. And so it has been this like insane wave that you just have to kind of, every day you got to ride it differently because it's not always creative and fun. And in fact, I do get tired of screens, and I love gamers, but I don't know how you guys do it. I'm amazed because I need to get out. So I've been forcing myself to go on long walks and ride my bike and just kind of be out there, you know? So it's a mix of things. You can't always, the screens are, it's a happy balance you need to find, you know?
Yeah.
And I think we also need to remember to not be so hard on ourselves. Of course, we have to make money to pay our bills. That's huge. And sometimes it's also okay to go, okay, I can't be stuck on Insta Live and doing this and trying to do that. Because then you drive yourself nuts. And self-care is a huge thing that I think we're all learning in this crazy time, you know? And so not scolding yourself for not posting today or not going live or not doing something is also part of this quarantine, I think.
Yeah, for sure. You mentioned reading up about Black Lives Matter. I think it's something that has come to the forefront of a lot of our minds as, you know, realizing our place in the racial injustice that goes on in this country. What would you say are like, the question that we usually ask people is like, who are you voting for? But what we really mean is like, what are the causes that are important to you? In general, but also as we head into this election.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as someone who came over, I luckily had a green card since I was 18 because my mom is American, and so she was able to apply for us. But I couldn't vote for the first 10 years that I had my green card because that's part of, you know, being a green card holder and not a citizen. And so understanding the importance of being able to vote later, you know, was huge. And I think that as a Latina who grew up in South America, I do get very bothered when we aren't taking care of immigrants that are what this country is made of, you know. And I think that we do bring diversity and rich things to America. So obviously, I feel like we need to be inclusive of all races and ethnicities and not have this war of races and white supremacy. And as a woman, I feel the right to my own body and the choices I want to make. And I've read up so much on abortion in Latin America and how there are so many. We're a very Catholic continent. I was like, how do you say all the countries in one place? A continent. That, you know, there isn't and because we also struggle with a lot of poverty, you know, abortions in Latin America can be really dangerous. And then I realized, oh, in America, it's just the same. When certain states don't allow that, if you need it and if you want it, or if you have been, I hope not raped, you know, everybody has the right to do what they want with their bodies. And so I'm like, not to get political, but, you know, as a woman, those are things I think about, and they're very important for me. So, and then economic justice and equality. I just feel like I'd like to think that there is wealth for all. And when, billionaires are getting crazy tax cuts and I am paying insane taxes as like a basic income earner, all of that to me is nuts. So those are a few of the things that I think about,
Yeah, for sure. A lot of people that we have talked to have, I know that we were a few guests that we were talking to, we asked the question, like, what's on your mind? And it's kind of an overwhelming question because the answer is basically like everybody and all the people, and, because there's so much injustice and in this country and in the world, and there's so many causes that desperately need our attention. So it is hard to sort of narrow it down, but I do think that we have seen so much disenfranchisement amongst immigrants and people of color, and just addressing that, and whoever the candidate is that will do so. In any election. But one of the things that we talk a lot about on here is that it's not just about the president or your senator, it's about the local elections and recognizing the importance of electing your city council members and your police commissioner and your attorney general and stuff like that.
Yeah. And also the importance of making it a long-term, a lot of people say like, I can't change anything with this one vote, or the electoral college, etc. And it's so important to think about it. Like we always joke around and say like, it's a lifestyle, not a trend. And it is about making that commitment to vote in every election, every time, and do it for the long term, because it takes a while to turn a cruise ship around, right? And this is a huge country that's, bigger than, Europe. And so we have a lot of people that we're dealing with, and I read this article about how the United States is actually really like 12 different countries. And because of the industry in each area, they broke it down into different areas of like religion and industry and tourism and stuff. And each of these geographical areas have different wants and needs, and the people that live there are different. And so to actually get this whole United States to turn, in a different direction, start moving in a different direction, is going to take time.
Absolutely.
So you have if you were not able to vote until you were 28, you've voted in what, one election here so far? And
I've two. So then maybe I got my green card a little earlier. I remember voting for Obama, and that was very exciting. So yeah, this will be the third that I get to vote in.
And it's an exciting day for, whatever your political choice is. It's an exciting day to be a woman of color, a person of color, and an
absolutely,
American,
It's another thing that I didn't mention is for me, LGBTQ issues are we need equality, and we need to understand that. And it really saddens me when I read comments after I post a rainbow on Instagram, because I don't understand how any religion can teach us to not care for somebody who just loves who they want to love. To me, that's a basic right, and I can't imagine looking down upon somebody because of that choice or whatever you want to call it, So all of those things come hand in hand with a better world to live and let live, I think.
And also, like, hey, if you're loving somebody else, I feel like maybe we should be dealing with people that are hating on other people, because that's something I feel like, that would be a little more pressing. But
absolutely. But it is important to vote, guys. Get out there and vote.
And if you guys have questions for Carolina, there's the little question box down below. It's easier for me to see it if you pop it in the little question mark box. And Stylish Zoe has given us our first question. What's your favorite Sombra line?
I don't have favorites, but I like mess with the best and die like the rest. It's a quote from Hackers, the movie. Sombra likes to do that. She quotes other things. I also love, I know who's been naughty.
Can we just, are there Sombra t-shirts?
Are there Sombra t-shirts?
We need Sombra t-shirts with just sassy quotes.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I would be allowed to sell them, but I think they should be made because honestly, a lot of Sombra's voice lines are just brilliant and super, they're all sassy. They're all sarcastic. They're all great. So I don't have a favorite. They just all kind of make me happy. And then I forget that she has some and then someone will remind me. I'm like, oh yeah, that one too, you know? Hi, Deborah. Friend from New York. Brazil, New York.
Oh, there you go.
And did I see that Anjali's on here?
Ah, perhaps. I don't know. The comments go up and then I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
Anjali! Dang. You know what? Instagram.
I'm not going to kill you. She is here. Hi, Anj. Woo, woo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Makes me so happy when our friends drop in.
Absolutely. We're talking about voting, guys, and the importance of voting and getting out there and making change.
That's right. And Anjali is a big NerdsVote supporter as well and has posted lots of gorgeous pictures in our sexy tank tops. And
yeah. I need to get me one of them sexy tank tops. Is there a website for such tank top?
There is, actually. You can go on to our website, which is nerdsvote.com/shop. And you can get a few different varieties. You can also, if you're looking for something a little more obscure, like a baby onesie, you can go to redbubble.com.
A baby onesie. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I love it.
We're selling masks. We're selling shower curtains. We're selling mugs.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys also selling your nail polish? Because it looks similar.
Oh.
Both of you.
Hi.
So good.
Yeah. Help us.
Yeah. Nail polishing of the nails has become a kind of a regular occurrence up in this house because
ain't nothing else to do.
Dude, you definitely do a better job than I do. When I paint my nails, as you can see, I have not done, it looks like a little kid did finger painting because I'm so bad at it. So like, I'll get them done if I need to, but usually they're not done.
I also finger paint. He's like a hand model. It's really annoying.
I love it.
Well,
I love it.
I have two things to my advantage right now. One, I do have very long nails, so that helps. And two, actually my partner Scott paints my nails.
Oh, you cheat.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
That's
hold
on. So wait, you guys do a ton of voices too. Can we talk about this? That's how we met in different situations, but yes.
My boyfriend was just asking me, he's like, Carolina, I've met her, right? I'm like, she was the one that dressed as Sombra and stood on the table when we were at where were we?
Katsukan.
That's
Wait,
right.
I stood on a table? What are you talking about?
Oh, yes, you stood on a table and I was like, girl, if that thing goes over, I was like.
At a panel? At the panel? What are you talking about?
Yes.
Oh, yes. I thought, well, because we had dinner. I'm like, wait, did I stand on a table at a restaurant?
Oh, God, no, not at the restaurant.
Dude, I had to show off my cosplay. Hello.
I know. It was just amazing, though. It was like one of these rickety little tables, and you're just like, let me show you, and stood up on the table, and we're like,
because I had to show the amazing work that Melanie Jasmine had done with my cosplay.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
You looked amazing.
Thank you.
But you also
scared you. I'm so sorry. We didn't know each other. So yeah, that must have been scary.
It's hard to scare me, but it's usually involves some kind of grave bodily harm with someone pitching off of the table and off of the stage. So.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to have scared you.
It's okay.
I didn't scare JP. We just met on Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we did one of those readings.
Yeah. I don't think we've met in person.
I don't believe we've had the pleasure yet.
Yeah. Just on Zoom. It's all good. The new way.
Actually, no, we met. I can't say it, but we met on a mocap project, didn't we?
We did indeed. Yes. Oh my God, that's so crazy. Absolutely, that was cool. You were so badass, man. You know the mocap suits they're like a little weird because they're wetsuits, but they're also like, I'm holding a gun and I'm badass.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm holding a broomstick. I'm holding a broomstick in a wetsuit going pew pew.
Yeah.
Pew, pew, pew. Yeah. Yes. And I remember actually you came in and I was like, oh sweet God, because you're a dancer and you were all springy and
Dude,
it
you're
was
all
like
springy. What are you talking about?
8 o'clock in the morning, and I was just like, holy hell, what's
Oh
gonna
my
happen?
God. Did you think
This chick looks wide awake.
she's that chick who's wide? Well, I had to, I mean, I drank my coffee like driving over because or else I don't make it to Marina Del Rey that early in the morning. Yeah, but I get excited once I'm on set, you know, then I'm awake. But mornings are hard.
Yeah. Even now, when I literally, it takes me like an hour.
Oh my God. Sweet Ange is asking questions.
She is.
Should we
She's
pay
not
attention?
She's not putting them in the question box, but
what's giving you hope right now in the upcoming days leading to the election?
About the upcoming election. What's keeping me pumped about it? I don't know. The possibility of change in all of what's happening right now, you know, without getting too deep into it. But yeah, I do think that like elections give us a new renewal of hope and possibilities. So that I'm hoping that that's what's going to happen, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I think one of the things that we're realizing that we need, it started out as we need to tell people to register to vote. Then it became, okay, well, we're in a pandemic, so we need to tell people to get their absentee ballot. And now with all of the different information going on and states all being, having different regulations and everything, I think, you know, admittedly, information is going to be a little tricky. And I think the message that we want to share to people is like, gang, it's going to be a little harder, and you're going to have to do a little digging to make sure you know the rules and regs in your state, making sure that you fill out your ballot correctly, that you sign, make sure you sign in the right place. And it's a lot, but I think, Carolina, if you could impart upon the people listening why this election is so important, or why voting in general is so important, what is it for you?
Well, I think a lot of what we hear is, oh, my vote won't matter. Oh, the Electoral College. Oh, this, oh, that. But, you know, enough people say that, and then that's the problem, right? And I think that I've always lived in those states where we go, oh, it doesn't matter because we know it's going to be this color or that color, you know. But I think that the more we just get into the habit of making this something that we do, like you said, a lifestyle, not a fad or what did you call it, a fad? A trend.
Yes.
I think that we need to understand, and it just becomes part of how we work. We talk about it with friends. We teach our children. We teach our, you know, our niece, our nephew, whatever. It's just something that becomes, you know, in some countries you are born and you are registered to vote immediately because now you're just in the system, you know. And I feel like that should also be a thing, you know. But I think that we need to. A lot of people just complain about the government doing nothing, but aren't getting out there and voting. And so I think that if we do want change and want equality or want to be paid attention to in so many different ways, you know, I do observe different. I lived in New York and in LA, and you know, I've lived in neighborhoods where you go, oh, you know, the city doesn't care about this part of town because there's no money here, or because the taxes, you know, aren't as high, or because it's still the ghetto or whatever. And so it's like the more we care about our neighborhoods and who's representing us in these particular areas and how they're going to take care of us, you know, that's it. We need to care about the greater good, you know. And so I think that that's why they're important.
Like, so you grew up in Colombia, right?
I did, yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about like the process there? Because I know like I'm half Australian, and in Australia you get fined if you don't vote.
Oh,
It's required. So I mean, can you, is it at all different there? Do you have to go and register? Did you go there to start?
Yeah, well, I've always voted remotely because once I turned 18, I moved to the States. So I'd always go to the consulate to vote in New York. And I mean, you can not vote too. It's not like it's a prerequisite to live. And the same thing, I think that in our country, we're also trying to, I just remember a couple of years ago in New York, just like, please, everybody get out there and vote. I think that, I think it's a worldwide problem. Well, maybe, like, I think Scandinavia is like, you know, an example of like perfection, and like some of the Nordic countries, or like, you know, Germany, you know, Holland, like they always like kind of get stuff a little bit more organized. But I feel like for the most part, it's like most countries need to get the people to get out and vote. So very similar still, you know.
Yeah, except for those Nordic countries with their chunky sweaters, and they don't have to put on any makeup or anything, and they just go
They're
with
just
their hair in a little
perfect.
top knot and head off to the polls, and then go row or whatever.
And then there's socialism, and everyone's taken care of, and they have health insurance and all the stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, in
And they let
Argentina,
dogs on the buses in Sweden. Hey.
Emmy Vargas is saying that in Argentina it's obligatory to vote, and you receive a penalty if you don't. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same as, and some places even have it as a national holiday.
Yeah, well, our voting is always on a Sunday in Colombia, so you have no excuse. I do think it's crazy that it's on a Tuesday here, and then people have to like get out. Like to me, that's crazy. It should be on a weekend or it should be on a holiday. You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, U.S. Secretaries of State, and start pulling it together, guys, because we have a lot of just suggestions, notes, comments, concerns. So just, I have to just take a quick tangent here. And again, guys, this is Between Two Nerds, and this is Carolina Ravassa with us. And if you have questions, please put them in the question box below, and Carolina will answer all of them with complete candor.
We shall see about that.
Yes.
Except the ones that violate NDAs.
Exactly.
Right.
Arepas.
What?
I have been watching Latin street food because like I'm all about the foods, right?
Yes.
And so I am all in. Tell me everything you know, favorite flavors. Can you make me one?
I'm obsessed with arepas. They are a corn patty of sorts. I don't want to call it that, but it's like a pancake, but a little bit harder. You can like lift it up and you know, it's not going to just like flop over. Now they're doing arepas con todo, which means arepas with everything. And so you can add on layers of stuff and kind of eat it like a tortilla, but it's a little thicker and kind of just like, you know, layer it with stuff. I always just love morning arepas that have the white cheese on them, like that typical Mexican cotija cheese, or all of Latin America has their own white cheese, which is like just like a country cheese. It's very, I don't want to say flavorless, but it's very mild. It's kind of like ricotta, kind of like feta, but not as salty. It's like in between. And I put the white cheese on, and you grill the arepita, little arepa. That's what that means. And it's my favorite breakfast food in the world. And then depending on what part of Colombia, they make them differently. So on the coast, they have arepa de huevo, which means egg arepa. But what they do is they deep fry the arepa. Then they open it up. They stick an egg in it and fry it some more, and then it's like this crazy fried egg thing. Yeah, it's really good. Oh my God, arepas con dulce de leche? No, that would be very weird, Emmy, but you can try it.
That reminds me of the Japanese pancake, what is it? Okonomiyaki. You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Like it literally means like everything.
And noodles.
Sure. Those are a little softer though. The ones you're describing, JP, are not like the arepa is a little bit harder. You can kind of lift it up and it won't like bend. Oh. You know, it can be. I don't want to say crunchy, but it's my favorite. Thank you for asking about that. It's great.
Well, I'm obsessed because that's all I think about is food all the time, and I just watch food shows now.
What else is there?
So it's been great for my accent work, and also I just get up and eat a lot of cereal because I don't actually cook. So I like to feel like, you know, I can use it as if acting exercise and think that my granola is actually an arepas or an arepa. Is it singular?
Well, one arepa or two arepas?
Yes, we'll go with two.
Yeah.
And is there something that is there anything that you drink along with that?
An arepa is usually like a breakfast thing, so like you'll have coffee along with it. But if you have it like as an afternoon snack, so there's this thing, like in my city, it's warm, and then you can drive up a few kilometers up into the mountains, and it gets a lot colder, like chilly. And so you take your little sweater, and then you sit in these cute little restaurants that are along the road, and you order a hot chocolate and an arepa with cheese, and you kind of like, that can be like a nice 4 p.m. snack. So you know, that's a thing too. But usually I would consider them breakfast things. Although, dude, I eat arepas for dinner too. So it's just I wouldn't pair it with wine or anything else. You just kind of, it's a very simple, like, you know.
But the chocolate and the cheese works together?
Dude, so I didn't mention it because I thought that was going to get weird, but there is a type of cheese that is like a mozzarella, and they'll cut it up in little cubes and sometimes throw it into the hot chocolate. Sounds weird.
I'm actually very okay with that.
Sounds weird, but it's like mozzarella. It's not a very strong cheese, and you can kind of go in with a spoon and like eat the cheese with the hot chocolate. It's a thing, and it goes well. Yeah.
It's like a French onion soup of chocolate.
Yes, sure.
Oh my god. There is, Carolina, have you ever been to there's a churro and chocolate place in Pasadena
I haven't.
that has like the most amazing Latin style drinking chocolate, and it's like a little bit spicy. And they serve it with everything. Like they serve it with churros, but they also serve it on the side of like their like the breakfast stuff. And
yeah, that sounds amazing. Well, the white cheese is a big thing in Latin America because they also pair it with a guava dessert. It's like a jelly guava and then the white cheese. So so it's sweet and salty. Churros, I guess.
And in the
Churros are
pastry,
sweet and sweet. Yeah.
in the flaky pastry with the guava and the cheese.
Yeah.
Guava cheese for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing else.
Hi,
We do it in my
Francesca Van
neighborhood real
Horn.
well.
Sorry, I'm saying hi to people. They're asking me for Overwatch 2 voice lines. And guys, you know the rules. I can't say anything about Overwatch 2. So why would I be able to give you lines from Overwatch 2?
It's so sweet. We have this conversation almost
all the
every
time.
chat. And then, we can neither confirm nor deny nothing.
Every day of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like to pretend that somebody would say, if I told you, I'd have to kill you.
Exactly.
But that's not one of her lines, but I'll make it one at some point.
Yeah.
So there you go. You heard it here on Between Two Nerds, guys. I told you. She's going to answer everything with pure candor.
Yes.
Yes. So that's the food portion of our show. But maybe not. I mean, we usually get to ice cream.
Well, I do want to add the best soup in Colombia, in my humble opinion, is called sancocho. Sancocho, sancocho. It is, the base of it is plantain, but they cook it down enough that it kind of dissolves and then becomes like a thicker soup, and they make it with cilantro and a little bit of, like, you throw like spice in there, and there's potatoes and all sorts of root vegetables and chicken. It doesn't have to be, it can be fish, it can be also a vegetarian one, but usually there's some sort of meat, and then you eat it with pieces of avocado inside, and it is crack because I love cilantro, and I put lime in there and spicy whatever. It is the best soup in the world. Dude, there's a Colombian place downtown LA. We should go.
That was my next question. I was like, girl, I will put
and they make a good sancocho.
A beekeeper outfit and suck it through the mesh.
Yeah, it's my favorite soup in the world.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Well, guys.
And that's the end of our show. Thank you.
Everyone's like, please stop talking about food.
Yeah.
Please stop talking about food.
Yeah.
Let's see. Saul_N73. How should I view voting when I'm not of legal age, and how do I prepare when the time comes? Well, Saul,
Great question.
it's a wonderful question. It depends on the state that you live in. Sometimes in certain states you can pre-register to vote at 16 or 17. Some states you can register to vote early as long as you are 18 by the time election day rolls around. So if your birthday was November 2nd, you could register to vote because you will be 18 on the 3rd. Obviously, my mom can attest to the fact, she's always on this, just watching, but she can attest to the fact that I was big into voting before I ever was able to vote. You can encourage the people around you. It's so important to let people know, hey, I don't have a voice right now in the voting process. I need you to use your superpower of voting and get out there and make your voice heard on my behalf.
Yeah.
So trying to get people around you to honor their commitment to vote. And then just being ready, staying active, and you can do stuff if you're in high school. A lot of the times they have, voter registration in college, voter registration clubs. There's the internet.
One thing I would say is definitely start learning who the players are. Like, who is your Congress member? Who is your senator? Senators? Who are your mayor and your city council? And learn who they are. Learn what their record is, and if you agree with them or you don't. And start to form what your political positions are, so that when the elections do come around, you have a clear idea of how this country works and how your town works and how you can affect change.
And also, just because you're not old enough to vote doesn't mean you can't call your representatives and tell them what you think, or write them. ResistBot is an option to get in touch with the people that represent you. You can do it on Twitter. You can just text. It's great. And yeah, you can reach out and say, hey, I'm not at voting age yet, but I'm gonna be, and I'm paying attention. And I want you to pay attention to these things that are important to me, because I am pre-voting and I am listening. That's very powerful.
Yeah.
Very powerful. So thank you for that. Awesome.
Good tips. Yeah.
Is the Nendroid Sombra figure what you're holding up right now?
Yeah.
Nendroid? Nendroid?
Yep. She's tiny.
So that's what Nendroid is? Sorry.
That's what it is. Yeah. I also found a special one that I forgot I had it. When Sombra goes invisible, they just make her purple. So I have this one too.
Oh my God, it's so cute.
Yeah, I get these as gifts, That's what happens when you voice Sombra.
I don't get gifts.
Remind me the ones you voice. You do a lot of badass peeps.
Not
Courtenay.
really.
Not
really.
She gets Jack fan art for sure.
I do, but Jack doesn't have any action figures, which is the greatest crime of all time.
Yeah.
Like Funko, do me right. Come on.
Funko needs to get it. Yeah.
I know. Does Sombra like cats or dogs? Asks Leon Arub.
What do you think? Obviously cats, guys. She's Sombra. She's a hacker. She's sneaky like a cat. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah.
She'll steal your breath in the night. Like
she will. She will. She's sneaky like that. Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm not going to say it. I went to a very bad.
Oh, okay. I mean, you can. I don't care. What I was going to say was Sombra's getting a new Funko Pop for Los Muertos skin, and she looks rad. I'm excited.
Somebody mentioned that you went to vote they said.
Oh, yeah, in a Mexican costume. I read that, Abby. What are you talking about? She knows my life better than I do. I may have, I wore a Sombra shirt when I voted here in LA. And I stuck a I voted sticker on it. I don't know what the Mexican outfit was. I will have to think. I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know.
I definitely have decided this year that I'm going to vote in a dinosaur costume.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Like
because
the T-Rex thing where you
yes, because I'm obsessed with them. At every convention, there's always, they have nerd prom and you go downstairs. You're like, I'm just going to go see what's happening. And then it's 4:00 in the morning and I'm dancing with a couple of them or watching them try and drink with their tiny short arms. It's amazing. They bring me so much joy. And so my gift to myself during this pandemic is going to be a dino costume. And I feel that it is also the pandemic face covering that I need.
Oh my God. That's amazing. I can't wait to see that. So I think I did. It was close to Dia de los Muertos when I dressed up in a Mexican outfit with my face paint. I guess I just didn't remember that there was an election around that time. Maybe I did go, or maybe I had an I voted pin. I don't freaking know. I didn't forget.
Maybe I was like, what the hell? How can you?
Yeah. So, but I want to see your outfit when you vote.
Oh yeah.
There better be pictures.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna live in that thing. I'm gonna just I have never cosplayed, and so I am excited to dip my
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
talon, my claws,
Yeah,
into the cosplay water. Just starting small.
love it.
Just with a NerdsVote shirt on a dinosaur.
Oh my God, yes.
To be fair, Courtney has cosplayed. It's just that it so happens that it's happened on Halloween, so it technically doesn't count, but it does.
That's true. And I do cosplay as like Joan Jett or Debbie Harry or whatever on any given day. I will try my best.
Oh my gosh.
Chrissy Hind.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, I guess because it is like, yeah, close to Halloween, of course.
And we do love some Halloween, so. And we remember what we dressed up as on Halloween. Just kidding.
No, but that
actually-
wasn't Halloween. That was
lovely
Day of
gentleman-
the Dead. It was different. Go.
Oh, day after.
Yeah.
This lovely gentleman cinched me into my Betty Page corset in a CVS parking lot on Halloween. So,
Those are the days.
yeah.
Oh
when
my
we could get out
God.
and about.
Love it. So how did you two meet and how did NerdsVote start? I want to know.
Oh, we were at the same voice agency, but I don't remember how actually, like you were just always in my life. I don't remember meeting you.
Yeah, I think it was just kind of a gradual, like, we would see each other in the waiting room of the agency, and it just sort of developed into, like, let's get lunch, let's chat, blah, blah, blah. And then, here
Lots of smooches and.
And NerdsVote started Over Margaritas.
Mm-hmm. It started with, I was working with Ashley Birch. We went to have Mexican food in the nighttime after our session was over. We had some Don Cuco's margaritas, and we were talking about how we, all work separately, and it's really hard to like talk about voting and politics and stuff like that because we don't really have a water cooler we can hang around and chat to each other. But later on, possibly after the second margarita, I remembered that we do conventions. And so it occurred to me that nobody was really in the convention, the nerd space, trying to get nerds in particular to vote. And of course, nerds are the people who should be voting because they're smart, they're problem solvers, they love puzzles, they love heroes and villains. They are all about, playing games where there are consequences to your actions. I mean, of course, we want people.
Some empathetic people in the fold.
Yeah, and especially people who have been marginalized over, historically kind of been shunned and not had their voices heard. And so, of course, anytime I actually need to get something off the ground, instead of just the idea that I have to call JP, and JP and I brought Mary Elizabeth on, and we all chatted about it, and then that's how it was born. And then we brought Ivy on, and now
the rest is history. That's amazing. Oh, how cool. I was watching Mythic Quest, and I feel like Ashley's amazing on that. And then I saw she also voices a character in Valorant. So I was like, oh, yay. I admire her work a lot. But guys, that's a huge deal. It's so smart of you guys to start this. And it makes perfect sense that in the convention world, that's where the outreach happens. And, you are talking to smart, empathetic, caring individuals.
And it's been so great because it was another way to get all of our friends on board too. Because I thought, when I was a kid, if I had met somebody whose work I loved, obviously, like if I was a huge Overwatch fan and I met Sombra or Symmetra, yeah. Symmetra, that I would be like, oh, and I had a conversation at a convention that was about something that was, besides the game and stuff, that you had like a personal conversation that would sort of stay with you and you would have a different connection to voting than just like, oh, this is something I have to do. It's like, hey, I can actually go on Instagram and show her that I voted with my sticker and have like a little conversation about it. Or, this is a different level that we meet on and talk. And it seems to have worked out really well. And the voiceover community in particular has been super amazing. I mean,
responsive.
Yeah. Anjali was one of the first people. I mean, she's amazing. Just
she was on it so early that we don't even have her archived video because Instagram didn't allow that yet.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she's already worked her way through several tank tops.
Yeah. No, I know. It's so funny because like, I think I don't know if I'd met you, Courtney, by then or whatever, but she was always wearing the shirt and had the pin on, and like I was like, I don't know who these people are, but that's amazing you're doing that, Anj, you know. And now here we are.
And now here we are.
Yeah.
It's
I do feel like I'm watching this like AI movie or something, like a sci-fi thing, like just the little screen that JP is in. You kind of feel like the robot that just kind of like moved over next to Courtney, and like you live inside a box or something.
Somebody was comparing me to Zombie, the genie from Pee-wee's Playhouse that lived in the box.
Oh my God.
Make a
little creepy. You look like you're in a theater space though, with this like reddish curtain behind you. It's very fancy.
I love bold decor. So I have red curtains throughout the house.
I love it. Super
just
cool.
for impromptu theater.
Yeah, you know.
Maybe you need to just do like a little commedia dell'arte.
I love it. Do you do it for Zoom calls? Hello.
Exactly. He's like, here's JP.
Oh my God. Do you do that to your partner? Do you like open the curtain up? And I feel like Rita Moreno would do that. You know, she loves opening the curtain and one day at a time, every time she comes out of her room. Have you seen that show? It's really great.
I have not seen this iteration of it, but I know the show.
It's you know, it's a reboot of One Day at a Time.
Oh, yeah.
And it's been done with an all Cuban American family. And let me tell you, every episode tackles an important issue in America, and they do it so well. They have talked about voting. They have talked about, yeah, absolutely. It's a comedy, but they get into some subjects that I feel like every episode I'm kind of tearing up and laughing at the same time, but it's very educational. I feel like the writing's been really well done. So if you guys get a chance, they talk about voting there, green cards, LGBT issues, veteran issues. I mean, they go into that. It's really amazing. Highly recommended.
Didn't it just move to another channel?
It did. It was on Netflix, and now it's on another one. I don't remember. Google it.
Pop or no?
Something like, Pop TV or something. I forget.
Yeah, where Schitt's Creek used to be.
Yeah, I don't know.
Google it, friends.
We will figure it out. The Pop TV. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, or whatever.
And also, you know, watch Latin street food on Netflix while you're at it.
Yes.
I will get on that.
Make you hungry. And then you'll have something to talk to Carolina about when you meet her, when we finally get out of our houses.
Another great Colombian thing is the pan de bono. It's a like baked cheese bread, similar to the Brazilian pão de queijo, and it's also crack.
How do you not end up being like 5,000 pounds? Because everything that I saw was just laden with cheese.
Yeah, cheesy or greasy or something. You know, you gotta throw the kale in there too. Balance in life, you know. But if I'm walking past a bakery in my hometown and I smell a pan de bono coming out of the oven, I have to go buy one. I can't say, oh, I just had lunch. No, pan de bono is always like top. A freshly baked one, really good.
Guys, if you have any other questions about Colombian street food, throw them in. What's the booping thing? Where did the booping thing come?
What is the boop? So Sombra.
I mean, I understand what I do to my dogs.
Yeah. It's and a lot of Overwatch characters have short films that are on the YouTube channel of Overwatch, and so I'm going to do this. It's a little short film. It's like a little Pixar short, and in Sombra's, she boops her enemy almost at the end of the short, and it's kind of a fuck you, but. I don't, you know what's crazy? This is what's crazy. Oh my God, full circle. I love this. It's like improv. So I was in LA for BlizzCon, the last election, because Sombra had just come out. And, you know, I saw I knew I booped the character in the short. And then my Twitter started growing that Tuesday. Like BlizzCon happened that weekend, and then it was election Tuesday here. I had voted from New York already, early voting, because I knew I wasn't going to be there. And I was like watching the TV to see who was going to win, Hillary or Trump, Hillary or Trump. And I was just like, and I couldn't watch because I was so stressed out. And we were waiting, you know, it was an eternal wait. And so Twitter started like sending me all these notifications, and people kept saying, Carolina, give me a boop, give me a boop. And then I was like, okay, so I started booping all these, I would send out a boop to all these fans, but it was a B, and every O was like a different emoji. So I booped probably 500-600 people with a different emoji, because I was just, it was mindless. I was doing it and I was waiting to see what the hell was happening. And so that's what happened with the boop. And from now on, I'm going to boop people until I die. Actually, now with Corona, I don't know what's going to happen. I'll just wear a glove or something. But
boop safely.
But
Exactly.
it was 4 years ago in the election, and I just remember that's how the boop kind of blew up, because I was watching the TV screen waiting to see what was going to
I
happen.
actually played a shaman alien character named the Boopy.
No.
I think it was my job to boop. Like that was the whole thing.
That is
Well, now
hilarious.
it's going to be Battle of the Boops, because
Yeah.
clearly you both have booping experience.
Oh my God.
We both have booping credentials.
The Boopy, Boopy?
Yeah, it was on the Netflix show Home, The Adventures of Tip and O. It was based on the movie that had Jim Parsons and Rihanna.
Oh, funny.
And the alien character is going through puberty, so I come in basically as like the alien version of a rabbi to lead him through his becoming manhood.
Boop mitzvah?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, that's funny.
It was the Boovination or something like that, and I was the Boopy, is like the, yeah. It's on Netflix. It's wackadooey. It's nuts.
But everything we do is whack. I mean, like all the voices and the characters we play, they're all crazy.
Do you have anything? I'm not asking you. Is there anything that you have going on? Because we are gonna have to wrap this up in the next 90 seconds, so it doesn't hang up on all this. But do you have anything that you're working on that you can talk about? Or obviously, no, if you cannot. But
Yeah,
some of
no.
us have, nothing.
Some video games I'm working on that I can't talk about.
Right.
Sweet Abby here has helped me collect some footage of some cartoons I worked on recently. One was for Cartoon Network, Victor and Valentino. I've shared that on Instagram, and I worked.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, yeah, it's so cute. And then with Todd Habercorn directed me in another one called The Power Players, and I play a cool little like feisty chick called Cleo LaBall. Woo! She loves sports. And that's kind of the things that have come out. The other ones I'm waiting on, and I can't talk about them till they happen. Yeah.
It's just fun to watch. I'd be able to ask every once in a while, like, "Hey, what are you working on?"
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah, right.
Question.
Well,
really.
in Valorant, I guess my character on Valorant came out 2 months ago, so that's been exciting to be able to like have a new little badass there. She loves explosives and stuff. So,
But
Awesome.
it'll never be a boop.
it won't. No, but she says boom.
I mean, what will?
She throws
The
a
boop
grenade and goes boom, and I love it to pieces.
So, Carolina, the way that we usually end our show is we ask our guests to sign off and encourage everybody to vote in their favorite character. I think we know which one it is, but you take your pick.
Guys, go out and vote because you don't want to have the government apagar your luces. So hack the government. Boop. My ultimate line is apagando las luces, which means turning off the lights. So if you want to like stay with your lights on, and that's kind of what I was connecting it all.
It's a metaphor.
Tis.
It's a thinking thing.
It's a thinking metaphor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Carolina, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
One of these days, we will have you and Anjali on at the same time. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Please hit us up at nerdsvote.com. Follow us if you have questions about voting. Please make sure if you're interested in being a poll worker that you go to our pinned comment right now and eac.gov/help-america-vote.
All of that.
And we will see you soon, darling girl.
Yay! Thanks for having me, guys. This was great.
Thanks, everybody. Have
Bye.
a great night. We'll see you on Thursday with Lori Allen. What?
Yeah!
More voice actresses, the best.
Yay!
All right. Love you guys. See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Done. No, not done.
No.
Round button.